guys, welcome to another episode of Music Tech TV.
Today I want to show you how to cut in Final Cut. There's a certain technique that people use that makes the speech more fluent. You know, when you're talking, you might use like or So I'm going to show you how to cut those out so your speech or your voice runs a lot smoother. I want to start off with a new project. Okay, I already have one started here. It's called Cutting Technique. Oh, I spelled technique wrong. So it's called Cutting Technique underscore YouTube. I'm gonna just go over how to cut out long pauses that you have in between videos when you're making a video, and you know, the uhs and the ums and the likes and you know, the stuff that you don't want to implement. Sometimes you want to have those in your videos and it just sounds right, but some people just want to take those out so the video won't drag on, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some footage that I have here of myself. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and drag this down of me talking to the camera, and we're gonna go ahead and play that back. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play that back for you guys. Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Meso Tech TV. Today I want to show you how to cut in Final Cut. There's a certain technique that people use that makes the speech more fluent. You know, when you're talking, you might use like or. So I'm gonna show you how to cut those out so your speech or your voice runs a lot smoother. Let's do it. So you see how I had said and or, and I had some little short pauses in between. So the first thing I like to do is, let me turn down the sound here. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is zoom in onto my track here, and you can zoom in by clicking the plus button here. So I would go ahead and zoom in, and I would go ahead and hit B for the blade tool. Okay, so I'll hit B for the blade tool, but you probably don't want to hit it just yet. So I'd go all the way to the beginning of the track. Okay, so go ahead all the way to the beginning of the track. So you could go ahead and use an example and try to record yourself and talking to the camera as you usually would. And then, or if you have a clip of you, just like dragging out a conversation and you want to kind of shorten it out a little bit so it just kind of flows. So here you could see the audio wavelengths of my voice here. Okay, let me use by clicking A, let me go back to my pointer here. So you could see the different wavelengths and you can see the pauses in between. So what I want to do is hit B for my wave tool, and I want to cut right before I start talking here because there's some sort of long pause here. So I want to go and hit A and delete that, and I want to hit B again, and as you could see, there's like a real low, there's nothing really said here. I mean, it looks like my mouth is moving, and it is, but the conversation doesn't really start until here, and the conversation that ended on it went low starts here. So I just want to cut that just as it kind of dips down, and then cut this the next part of the wave as it starts up. Okay, let me go ahead and do a zoom on that here. So you see how the conversation is just, there's nothing here. There's nothing here for me that says, and this could shorten the track and make the conversation smoother, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. So let's go ahead over to our blade tool again, and just let's kind of browse the track so we can look for those exact examples that we used here where there's really nothing going on. So here I see that the conversation kind of dips down a little bit, so I'm gonna cut this out, and then I'm gonna come over here when it starts right at the just at the beginning, and I'm gonna cut there as well. And what I like to do is just go through all my cuts, and then I'll cut, and I'll cut again. Actually, yeah. and I'll just go through all of them. Again, folks, I'm going through all the ones that that has no type of audio length going on. So the audio waves of your voice is I'm trying to explain it in a layman's terms way, so you guys can understand. But the audio wave is just not there. My voice is not there. There's nothing really being said in between until it starts, when it starts to get higher. But you can see I cut all that out. So now let's replay that back and see how it sounds. Welcome to another episode of Mizo Tech TV. Today I want to show you how to cut and final cut. There's a certain technique that people use that makes the speech more fluent. You know, when you're talking, you might use like you know or So I'm going to show you how to cut those out so your speech or your voice runs a lot smoother. Let's do it. So you see how it just, now I didn't get rid of the and the or, because that was one of my example of the video. So I'm cutting this video as I'm making this video. I'm gonna post it on YouTube when I get done on how to do this. But as you could see, it flows smoother and it shortens your video time. No one wants to sit there and listen to you talk for 20 minutes, you know, and trying to get what you want to regurgitate out of your voice. So it just kind of cuts everything out and makes it smoother. And the only reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because it made it easier for me. So I hope this helped. Please subscribe and like the channel if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment. Any suggestions that you want to see me do next, or you need help with something that you want to see a video, please let me know. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I won't hate you for it or dislike you for it. Thanks, guys. Peace.